So removing the bearing, this is the bearing. We're going to get the hub off first. That's this whole hub knuckle here. These two are the spline bolts. You need to take these two out. 21mm they are. You need to take the nut off first and hit them against the head. You see those splines there. That's what you find. You won't get those turned. Track rod end, pretty straightforward. 17mm. That goes up underneath. I took the ABS cable off from here, which I need to plug back in again up to that one there, see? Also, don't forget to hit subscribe, because if you keep subscribing, then I'll keep doing more videos and you get to learn stuff. So, right, back to the Vivaro wheel bearing. We're changing the front passenger wheel bearing on the Vivaro, and we've got it to this point. This is the hub, look. Yeah. And as I've already shown you, we'll take the brake hanger off there. The bottom ball joint, I mean, that's a bit shagged, to be honest. There's too much movement on that. But that unbolts very cleverly from Vauxhall. 3 18mm bolts just fit in there. This is a 17mm, that's the tie rod end. And we gave that a good taking off. Give it a tap and it falls out. These are pinch bolts and they hold it to your shock absorber. They 21mm both sides, and you've got to take the nut off and then hit them out from the other side. Tap them out, that's how they come out. What we've got here is a nasty rusty mess in there. First thing we'll tackle, this is the ABS sensor, and I do not want to have to buy another one of these, so we're going to attempt to carefully remove it. This is the new kit, look. We've got this bearing. That plastic case is to cover the ABS ring on the other side. And we've got a new hub nut. And we've got this. This is the ABS protector ring. And you see that's where it plugs in there. I don't know if you can see that properly. Yeah, there you go. So that is what we're going to try and do now. Going to try and lift this little tab here and work this plug out. And then cross my fingers and toes at the same time. Hopefully it all comes out clean. I'm going to save you to hear all the screaming and cursing, and I'm going to cut to the next bit where I've already got it out, make it look easy. Yeah, scratch that. This is a much easier way. Get a screwdriver in that bit there, and it just rocks back. So now we are actually going to achieve this, I think. Look at that, just like that. Okay, so that's what the end looks like. Obviously, hook like that to... Let me see this. Yeah, hook like that so you can see how it goes in. Give this a nice clean, put it back in. Okay, now we can start knocking it apart without fear of destroying the ABS ring. What I'm going to do, pretty standard, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that central bit out first, which is the wheel, where you bolt your wheel nuts to, that bit, and it's got the drive shaft splines on as well. So that bit comes out first that way. You can use several methods. You can use a bearing press. You can use, pullers. My preferred method is that. So what I'll do, I'll hold it, I'll brace it there, and I'll smash that good and proper, and it should pop out the other side. Right, so that's popped out now. That's the side I was hitting it from, and I've got this out the middle. Okay, we've got the outer bearing racer still stuck on there, which is fine. I've got tricks to remove that. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But now we're going to remove the rest of this bearing. Looks to me like that is the brake of it, and it's going to come out towards me. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to chuck a bit of WD on this side first. Make sure it's all nice and lubed up, sinking into the gap. Then I'm going to start taking all this off from the inside. First thing I'm going to do, measure it against that. Okay, that's interesting. So this is bigger than that. So the whole lot, this ring included, goes out that way. So I can just get something big enough to sit right around the outside edge. And same principle, just hit it until it comes out. Okay, we'll give that a go. This is what I'm hitting on, by the way. Just got a nice piece of RSJ. Brace it against the concrete, wear eye protection, and it pops out. Right, this is the way you do it with a hammer. Yeah, you end up looking like me. This is what we've got. It's all out now. Just giving it a little wipe down. This come out the other end. That's obviously the old bearing and the flattened ABS ring. This is what I used to hit it. And the first hammer I had wasn't big enough. So got that on there, braced it nicely, just bloody kept hitting it till it come out. So now we've got the ABS rings on the inside. Obviously it's not going to be the one with the metal because it's a magnet. Just test fitting it. Oh, it actually is the right bearing. That's handy. Right, this is how we're going to get the new one in. Okay, so looking for the plastic side ring, not the metal side ring, because that's the ABS. That's got to go in first. Obviously it doesn't matter which way around it is because it's circular. Now, you can't hit that with a hammer. What you'll do is you'll shock the inside of the bearing apart and you go get a new bearing and try it all again. So what we do instead, we've got to pull the bearing in using this outer sheath. That's the one that's contacting that. If I pull the middle bit, I'll pull the bearing apart, right? So it's got to be only pushed in with this outer sheath. If I push it there, you've damaged a bearing and it's gone. What do we have that's exactly that size? Hang on. The old bearing. I know, so should have given you a little bit more surprise than that. So you notice that steel ring is exactly the same size as that because it's the same bearing, it come out the same thing. So what I like to do, I use the old bearing to pull it in, yeah? I do have a bearing press and I do have some bearing tools. I'm going to show you how to do it with a spring compressor, yeah? Because a lot of you don't have all of the fancy kit that comes with it in the garage. So that's the way we're going to do it today. There we go. So we've got that one set in there lovely now. Look at the other side. ABS rings in the perfect place. Everything looks really good. Okay, now we've cleaned off the other part of the bearing. That's where your wheel nut's bolt in, right? So I've taken the other little piece that remained off that. That was a swine, but a few pry bars and levers and we got it off. Need to push this back into the bearing here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to the same principle again. I'm going to use my spring compressors. I've just made myself a washer. See, that is the inner race from the old bearing. It's still hot. That's that bit there we're looking at. And that way I know it's the perfect size. It just fits in there. I'm not going to damage the ABS ring and I can use it to pull. I'll get that all set up and I'll show you how I do it. So this is how I've got it set up. Look, I've got my spring compressor going through the middle there. That is all greased up and ready to go through the central shaft. And back here, that's my washer that I made. So I'm only pushing on the central part of the bearing, right? And that is almost just firm enough for me to start pulling. I'm going to get a little bit of WD on here, make sure that's central and start tightening, see what happens.